And welcome to Advanced Shouting. It's already a riveting show, Dan.
Thank you.
Well, you got your 19-minute open with that horrible crossfade that just cuts out.
You know what I was thinking, actually? The logo is awesome. I love it. But he should be wearing a hockey jersey.
He should.
Yeah. I'll talk
Some things for you to work on, though. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Dan.
Our art department's pretty good. We should reach out. We should have them work on that.
Yeah. All right. Alongside Grumpy Dan and Michael Vartan. Noel Fogelman.
You have to admit, the open sucks.
It doesn't suck. The open's great. Are you kidding?
No, let me rephrase all that. No, you're right. It doesn't.
No.
Wait. No,
you're done.
Wait.
You're done.
No, wait.
Cut
Cut
him out.
Wait.
Yeah.
No. Let me finish. The open's good. The levels are a little off. We need to EQ it a little bit, and it just cuts out abruptly. It's a little too long.
Oh, but you're a fucking music producer now?
No, but I know a few things about making good opens.
I love our open. I just feel like
too. It just doesn't. The abruptness of it. We need to EQ it a little bit.
All right.
That's all.
Okay, John Williams. When you come up with something, let me know. Okay.
No. I like the sound. It's good. It just the levels are off. It's like out of phase, dude. That's all.
Joanna and Michelle. Hey guys. Happy Wednesday.
Well, you know.
Besides that, how was the play, Mrs. Lincoln? Okay. Right. All right, so
I'm just saying, for a little internet show, it's fine. If we make it big time, we got to step it up a little. That's all.
All right,
sorry, I have COVID, so.
Don't stop too soon.
Yeah, no. I think the open.
You are the weather though, and I am concerned.
Well, I'm coughing, and I got the snivels, and I'm jacked up on NyQuil, but I do not have a fever, so.
Okay.
Wait, are you drinking Diet Sprite?
Yeah. Why?
Oh my God, that's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard.
It's good. Sprite Zero is good.
Ooh, Diet Sprite. Ooh.
That being said, we'd love to have you as a sponsor. Sprite every.
That's great.
Every flavor is great.
Hey, you're watching, please.
It's all great. Yeah. Exactly.
You know, I have a hookup with Tab.
You have a contract with Tab?
I mean, I can get us sponsored by Tab, even though they don't make sodas anymore.
Yeah.
Please do that. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. Or RC Cola.
RC Cola would be great too.
I remember RC was like exclusively at Shea Stadium, like back in the 80s.
Yes, it was. I remember that.
Gross. So it was
so gross. Yeah. Much like the team.
Back then, yeah. All right, so this show's kind of taking a turn right now.
Oh, yeah, we're off the wheels.
All right, Michelle. Sweet dreams. Glad you stopped by for a minute, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you at the Open. Okay. All right, so big news. I'm at the pre-show meeting, whatever it is.
Jesus.
I don't know. The whole Tab thing threw me off.
RC Cola and Moon Pies are the perfect combo. Yeah, they are.
Moon Pies are really good, too.
Moon Pies are good, yeah.
Anything Little Debbie's also.
Oh, Little Debbie kills it. I love those like peanut butter wafer bars. Those things are legendary.
Yeah. Could do a whole bracket on Little Debbie snacks.
We could do
that. Yeah, I'm more of a savory guy. I'm not into sweets. I like if I'm gonna pig out, it's gonna be a pizza or a pasta or something. Cakes, cookies.
Well, did you decide what you're doing for dinner yet?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna order. I don't know, fish fillet.
Okay. From McDonald's?
No, what's it called?
Fillet of fish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Those are good.
It's not from McDonald's.
Well, you say
fillet of fish
Chick-fil-A?
is from McDonald's.
Oh, okay. No, there's another one. Fuck, what's it called? Doesn't matter. It's gonna be something really greasy and terrible, and what you should eat when you have a cold.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's actually get to sports.
And you can chase it down with a good old Diet Sprite.
Diet Sprite.
Diet Sprite. Okay.
There we go. Why are you judging me over drinking Diet Sprite?
I'm not.
I totally am. I totally am. Okay. Yeah. All right. So we finally have a Super Bowl matchup. And it's finally. And Tom Brady's back against Mahomes. So it looks like Mahomes, the new face of the league against the old guard. So what say you guys?
What I say is we break down the conference games and save the Super Bowl predictions for next week.
Like we discussed in the production meeting.
Yes.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, were you at that?
I was too busy fucking up the Open. Okay. All right, so
it's true.
Yeah.
It's not. No, it's just. I just want it to be a little. It's a little sloppy. We just need to tie it together. Send it to me. I'll mix it.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. There, Dave Silvestri or Alan Silvestri, whatever. Who's the other guy?
Phil Spector.
I was going to say Dave Silvestri with the Yankees back in the 90s.
I know.
Alan Silvestri. Okay, so it's okay.
All right, so let's go, Buck. You want to start NFC or AFC? Doesn't matter.
Let's start with the NFC because that game was more controversial than the AFC game. You can always say Tom Brady gets every call, and he sure as hell got the call at the end of the game. My thing is, totally was pass interference, absolutely. But calls in the first quarter, any sport, first inning, first period, whatever, should be the same as the end of the game. Maybe I'm naive, but it should be that way. The game.
No, you're not naive. It's a fair point, but Dan and
it's just wrong.
It's just wrong. It never, especially in hockey and in football, it's a totally different ballgame.
And that's what's so frustrating. Like at the end of a game, say in hockey, maybe third period, 5 minutes left, you can murder someone and they won't call it. But then if you accidentally flip the puck over the glass, they will call that. That's what's maddening.
It makes no sense. But I mean, like, you're conditioned to play a certain way. If you know you can tug on the guy's jersey and get away with it the whole game, you're still going to do it the whole game.
Yeah.
And that cornerback, I mean, he had a terrible game. He kind of blew the coverage at the end of the first half as well. Not sure why they were playing man at the end of the first half, but that's beside the point. It's not fair. I mean, even baseball, you have strike zone. The umpire calls it wide the whole game. Players know, oh my God, it's a wide strike zone. Pitchers know they can nibble on the corners to get the call. And in the ninth inning, it should be the same strike zone. It doesn't matter the pitcher, the batter. It's very frustrating. I know I'm naive. I know it's not going to change. But
don't be started on strike zone. Let's not go with the strike zone because that is my biggest peeve in all of sports. It is the most.
That's why, it should be robotic.
The most fucking ridiculous thing in the world that we still have people calling strikes and balls. Some guy he has a high strike zone. He has a
he has a low strike zone.
It's ridiculous.
Watch Aaron Judge's strike zone. It's absurd.
Well, yeah, compared to
Altuve.
Altuve, right? Which is this big, and he knows it's coming.
Exactly.
But no, I mean you're right. That pass interference was an egregious pass interference. There's no way you can't call that.
No, I agree. I totally agree.
But to me, the only thing that was different is that during the whole game, they were letting them play rough. Like the DBs were, they weren't necessarily holding but they were letting them play.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure I subscribe to the idea of the fact that call specifically was so, oh my God, now they're not going to let them play. No, he grabbed his jersey. I mean, there's
right. It's definitely a penalty. The problem was the first call.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. There are so many throughout the game. I'm not saying it shouldn't have been called. It should have been called. You can also spin it the fact that Matt LaFleur should have let his Super Bowl winning quarterback and potential NFL MVP Aaron Rodgers get a chance on fourth down.
Yeah,
at worst, they don't convert. They have the ball on the 10-yard line with 4 timeouts to go.
The biggest problem Aaron Rodgers has to face is not only the other team's defense, but his own coaching staff.
Yeah, I mean, that whole coaching staff, the offensive coordinator, defense coordinator, head coach, they had a terrible game.
Well, what's his contract situation? Because there's some rumors that he might not be back next year.
Yeah.
Well, they also drafted Jordan Love in the first round, continuing
which was the highest, most interceptions in the fucking nation in college.
Yeah. So I'm not really sure about that. I mean, it worked for them, having Favre and drafting Rodgers, letting him sit for a couple of years. But I mean, Rodgers already said he's going to come. He's going to come back.
But you can also say a lot of things about the Green Bay Tampa game. That Rodgers came out and said that he would have never done that if he'd known that he had a fourth down to go for.
Agreed.
The fact that wasn't communicated.
Yeah. How was that? How that's a fireable offense.
How is that not communicated? Second of all, on that third down play. And we talked about it in the pre-show meeting. He could have run that ball down to the 3 or 4. He might have even scored.
Right.
And so if you're looking at it from a standpoint of, okay, we need 2 scores to win. We're gonna kick a field goal. Hopefully, get the ball back. No, just you have one of the top 5 greatest quarterbacks in the league. Let him do his thing. but let him know that he's got 4 downs, and I guarantee you he runs that ball down to the 2, and then maybe there's a quarterback sneak or a draw or whatever. It was not his finest hour.
Well, a couple of things here. Zach brings up a good point. Rodgers is under contract till 2024, and we want to have Zach on the show as like our junior reporter segment. Maybe he could be like our fact checker. He could be like our real-time fact checker for the show. He could be our Daniel Dale, if you will.
We'll try to get some high school credit for him for that.
Yeah, maybe. And Carly with a great response. Hooray! I made it. Showed food in my kids' faces to be able to chime in. We love it.
That's amazing.
And Bobby recommends that you have pho if you're not feeling well, and that's a good call.
Pho is a good yeah, it is a good call. But
open the sinuses up a little.
Yeah, a lot of red pepper and stuff.
Yeah, some broth.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Anything but Diet Sprite. Sorry.
Diet Tab.
I understand you're. It's not Diet Sprite. It's Sprite Zero. There's a difference.
Oh God, that's even more disgusting.
Sprite Zero tastes more like regular Sprite.
It's more disgusting and a little more ostentatious. No, it's not. It's not.
Look at you with your big actor word. It's ostentatious.
It's not Diet Sprite. It's Sprite Zero.
It's Sprite Zero. All right. Excuse me.
It's Zero. All right. Okay. Are you wearing a Gary the Platypus shirt?
Perry the where's Perry?
That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Okay. All right, so the AFC game, Buffalo got out to, a little lead, and the Chiefs have no problem playing from behind, even double digits. Nope. And, there was really no sense of urgency in them. They basically marched down the field, scored 21 quick points, and pretty much the game was over. The score was closer than the game really was, I thought.
I mean, last year, weren't Tennessee up 24-0? The AFC championship game?
I think so, yes.
Was the Texans? Well, the Texans had a lead first, right? And they came back, and then Titans had at least a 10-point lead.
They had at least, I think they had a 14-point, something like that. It was substantial.
No, it was over. I think it was 21 or 24.
And then they tied it up before halftime, I believe.
Yeah.
Zach, help me out.
Zach, get on that.
Yeah, Zach said Houston, so, yep. It was the conference.
Zach, get us the exact score, too.
Divisional round, yeah.
Yeah, you want 3 credits, you're going to have to earn your keep.
Yeah. But you know what's fun? I mean, like, it wasn't just the Bills. Nobody covers the Chiefs receivers and tight ends. I know they're great and stuff, but they're always
also really good. Yeah, they're wide open because they're really good.
But I mean, come on, you can double team somebody. They're always wide open, and that's great because Houston was up 24-0.
Okay,
Titans up 10-0, and Niners are up 20-10. So each team had to come back from 10 point, at least a 10.
That's college credit worthy research from Zach, by the way.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Make sure you finish your homework, Zach. Okay. So, I mean, like Travis Kelce, I mean, he's definitely going to get votes for MVP, and he's not going to win it. But the guy is amazing. So I think he was second in the league in receiving yards, which is nuts for a tight end.
Zach, check that. I don't think that's right.
Zach, check it. All right. And also check where you can buy Diet Sprite. Okay.
Here's the thing for the Bills.
Zero.
Here's the thing for the Bills. God forbid, barring injury, the Super Bowl goes through Kansas City for the next 10 years.
It does.
No question.
And the Bills have their Jim Kelly. They have their Andre Reed. Now they need their Thurman Thomas. And if they can get a stud running back, they have a chance. But they're going to have to man up and figure out a way to beat Patrick Mahomes, and that's not an easy task.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you go back to like the 80s, that was like the Cleveland Browns and Broncos. The Browns could never beat the Broncos. Ernest
Biner, the fumble.
I know.
Oh my God!
How good were those Browns teams too?
They were really
good. And Ernest Biner was a great running back.
Yeah,
great running back.
Yeah,
and I've never felt more sorry or pain for a player that I had no invested interest in. I was never a Browns fan, but I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Just again, the Browns against the Broncos. So the Bills have the goods to look on any given day.
It could happen, yeah.
It can happen, but they're going to have to.
Oh, sorry, not to interrupt, Mike, but you were right, Zach. Kelce was second in the league in receiving. Good job.
No, you were right, Noel.
Good
Fine,
point.
you're right, Noel. Let me just sip on my Sprite.
Yeah, exactly. But Diggs, number 1. So, Bills receiver.
Yeah.
But
how'd the Vikings let him go, by the way?
That was a terrible. Actually, you shouldn't say terrible trade. Someone was asking a question me because the guy who was 4th in the league, Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
They got him in the draft, so it worked out, and there it's a little cheaper than Diggs. But you know what bugs me about like any sport when the team loses in the conference championship, whatever, how the announcers always wax poetic about that team. Oh, they'll be back. You know it. They're always great. Bullshit. Take it from me, an Islander fan, waited 27 years to get back to the conference finals, or the Jets. 2 years in a row. They'll be back. Look at the Jaguars. How close were they going to the Super Bowl? And look at that team now. They're picking number 1 this year. Or the Senators a couple of years ago. They almost made it to the Stanley Cup. And they hit rock bottom. So I don't want to hear it. It's heartbreaking. You shouldn't wax poetic about this team. Oh, a valiant effort. No, it sucks to lose in this round.
You have to do it when you can because you cannot expect to ever
you can't expect it to be there.
It almost felt like for the
Unless
Bills,
you're Patrick Mahomes.
It almost felt like for the Bills, like making the conference final was a successful season.
Right.
And they had to win a playoff game this year. And
moving forward, it's Super Bowl or bust.
Because you have to think with that division, they're going to win. They're going to win 5 or 6 games from that division every year because the division is now reverting to everyone being terrible except Buffalo.
They're going to win that division for the next 5 years.
Yep.
And so at some point, they're going to have to figure out how to beat Kansas City.
Jets fan trying to pipe in here, being all optimistic. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah. Because, I mean, I don't want to say I'm not counting out the Patriots.
True. Okay, that's fair.
That being,
I think you're going to wax poetic on the Jets.
Why are you not counting out the Patriots?
You can't count out the Patriots.
Of course you can. What the fuck have they done this year?
I'm not saying that they're going to, all of a sudden turn it back on.
He's saying they might turn it around quickly.
I don't think they will. I think the Patriots are done. I think they're done for the next decade.
I hope so.
Well, I think it all depends who gets Deshaun Watson. I mean, if he gets straight to that division, that's a game changer.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
And then you want those 3 teams. Yeah. But also, I mean, you look at it you also have Matthew Stafford, who's a really good quarterback. Just playing.
True. He's got a lot of good. Yeah.
You have him. You also have Watson. They both conceivably can end up in the AFC East.
Which
is pretty crazy.
This is just my gut feeling based on 0 stats or 0 information, but I feel like
those are the best ones.
No, but I just feel like the Patriots are done. The Brady Belichick era is over, and New England's done. They're done for a long time. They're going to be irrelevant for a while, and nothing could make me happier.
No, same with me. I would love to see that team struggle for years and see Belichick moping on the sidelines. And quite frankly, I thought he would retire.
Me too. I think he'd stay for this.
I'm like shocked that he stayed because.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, he probably thought he was better than Brady, and I think the relationship kind of waned in the last couple of years. But speaking of Tom Brady, I mean, he's playing in his 10th Super Bowl, which is crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, he's lost a couple, whatever. Making it there is great. His 10th Super Bowl. Do you think he's the greatest winner in sports?
No. Back to you.
Okay, back to you. Okay. Yep. And here's a word from Sprite. Okay.
Do you like the taste of Sprite without calories?
Yeah.
Who is the greatest winner in sports?
I think Tom Brady's the greatest winner in the NFL. I don't think he's the greatest winner in sports.
So who's the greatest winner in sports? It's got to be maybe a
Yogi Berra.
A basketball team.
Yogi Berra.
Yogi Berra, really?
He won 12, right? He won 12 titles.
Yeah, but I mean, how influential was he in them winning 12 titles?
I mean, the team was stacked, obviously.
But okay, you pick someone else from that team, Jordan Massey.
No, I'm just talking about one player. I mean, you could name Gretzky, but those 80s Edmonton teams were stacked as well.
Yeah,
so
true.
I've got to say, I think Tom Brady might be the best winner in sports because he had different receivers every year. He had different running backs every year. He had different offensive coordinators, and the consistency.
What about I actually like Jordan and LeBron. I think are pretty good. and I can't believe I'm saying this name, but what about Mark Messier? He won 3 cups with Gretzky. He won a cup without Gretzky. And then he went to New York and won a cup again.
He might be the greatest captain of all time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that Ranger team was also pretty stacked too.
It was basically an Edmonton Oilers retread. Yeah.
But also, still. Yeah. I mean, he guaranteed that win against the Devils in the Game 6, and I had a hat trick. As much as I hate the Rangers, that's legendary right there. So I mean,
it is.
So he's
a hat trick against Brodeur too. So it wasn't like Reggie Lemelin was in that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm still going with Jordan. I mean, the fact he's got 6 rings, took 2 years off, he probably wouldn't have won 8 in a row.
I think there's I'm sorry, go ahead, Michael.
I think I have to agree with Zach. It's got to be Jordan. It's got to be.
Can I make the case for LeBron?
Yeah. You make it, it's going to be wrong.
Well, here's the thing. Obviously, he went to Miami, and you want to discount those 2 there because of the super team he formed. Okay, fine. He went back to Cleveland with nobody and won a title there.
Not fair.
What?
Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love.
Okay, him and Kyrie won a title, but he also took a couple teams in Cleveland to the finals. They had no business going to the finals.
True.
And then he went to Los Angeles, teamed up with AD, and won there as well. And he's won in 3 different places. That's pretty impressive.
But he's lost more finals than he's won.
Hey, if Brady loses this game, he's 6-4. That's not a great record.
No, it's not. I mean,
Montana never lost a Super Bowl.
But if he wins it, he's
7-3.
It's ridiculous. I mean, because this team really has no business being in the Super Bowl. They really don't.
They're not great.
Well, hold on. I mean,
I like that defense.
The defense is okay, and they've got Mike Evans. They've got Goodwin. They've got Gronk.
They have weapons.
And again, quote unquote, possibly the greatest quarterback of all time. So we shouldn't be surprised that they're there.
Right.
True. I mean, because a lot of people also are picking them in the preseason to go to the Super Bowl, and there was everyone's like, the sexy pick because of Brady and Gronk and stuff like that. But they didn't have the greatest season.
No, exactly, and that's the point. I think some people are surprised they're there because their season was sort of lackluster, and they had moments of brilliance where defense and offense clicked at the same time, and they seemed like a juggernaut. And then there were times like, what's going on here? So I don't know.
Yeah, and there are some other comments. We got Serena Williams, which I mean, I don't want to discount tennis because tennis is great. Like
we're talking team sports, right?
Yeah,
right. Because you can make the argument for Tiger and
But Serena, if you go to all sports, she's probably the greatest winner in sports.
She might be.
Yeah.
Nadal too. The longevity.
Well, Federer.
Nadal, Federer.
Oh, sorry, I meant Federer. I meant
Nadal. Pete Sampras. I mean, there's so many other guys you mentioned too. But Bill Russell was mentioned by Courtney, which is another great one. But those teams, it's also like Yogi Berra. They were stacked too. They had so many great players.
True.
Yeah.
We should actually do a segment maybe after the Super Bowl about individual sports.
Yeah.
Yeah. Carly with a great point here. Isn't that what makes Brady great, though? He took a nothing team and brought them to the game that matters. He did that with a couple of Patriot teams that weren't that good, too.
Sure.
So, those are valid. Those are valid points. I mean, I think the argument has to be made. Look, people don't have 20-year careers in the NFL.
Love him or hate him.
Exactly.
Right. He's back in the show for the 10th time, which is insane.
It's nuts. I mean,
but we will touch on the game. Big Dick Nick.
Yeah.
Big Dick Nick.
Yeah, and of course,
Nick Foles is in the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Hey, you won a Super Bowl for you guys.
That's all I wanted. I just want one. I'm good for the rest of my life. I don't care.
Yeah. Right.
Same thing, Carly. We don't exactly love Brady either, but you have to respect it.
You do. And then people, talk about his age. Oh, he's old. He probably takes care of his body better than any other athlete in sports.
But he's our age. No, he's like, could you imagine getting up in the morning the way we feel and going to play football?
I feel like probably his great-grandfather right now.
I feel like I could tear something walking down the stairs.
Yeah. Just struggle to walk to the bathroom.
And he's going to get chased by Chase Young or something.
Yeah. it's crazy. But we'll touch upon the game next week.
I cry when it rains.
All right. Let's move on a little bit. It was a big trade in hockey. I guess 2 disgruntled. I wouldn't call it Laine disgruntled.
I wouldn't either. He just made it clear he wasn't going to sign long term.
Yeah.
And it was the whole Scheifele thing. He was being bullied by Scheifele and
and Wheeler. That's a really bad look for Winnipeg. And Winnipeg's had notorious issues with their fans and racial issues, racial connotations. A lot of players don't. Most of if you do every year when you see the polls of the players, the places they don't like playing, Winnipeg's one of the top of the list. So when you hear that internally in the locker room, and then surprise, surprise, Mr. Backbone Paul Maurice can't reel that in. You could see why Laine was like, okay, look, I'm gonna. And that's the thing too. He came to camp. He had a great first game, 3 points in the first game. He played great last year. He just said, look, I'll play while I'm here. I'm just not going to commit to you long term.
Right.
Whereas Pierre-Luc Dubois, I can understand why Torts was disgruntled with him. He just gave up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And because he requested the trade. Sorry, Michael. And he requested the trade. That was probably we all thought it was probably a negotiating tool. He signed his bridge deal and still wanted to be traded.
Right.
Why sign the deal? Hold out. If you.
But I think him signing that deal for a decent price made him more alluring in the trade market.
Right.
I mean, the fact
that
you
don't have to trade him and then sign him. He's already in a contract. You know what you have for 4 years. A first line center at $6 million a year. Although he won't play first line minutes there. That's the funny thing.
Didn't he sign a 2-year deal?
No, he signed a 4-year deal.
Okay.
Zach, check that. 4 years, $6 million a year, I think.
All right, I thought it was 2, but all right. Well,
I like this Zach fact checking thing. I think this is going to work.
This is good. This is
very
good.
Yeah.
There's no way Laine re-signs in Columbus, so
probably not. No, that's one of the great things I saw. It said basically Pierre-Luc Dubois went to Canadian, like the Canadian equivalent of Columbus, and Patrick Laine went to the American version of Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but
although I've been to Columbus, I think it's quite nice. I don't get that.
With everything going on in Columbus right now, they're in first place in that division.
Yeah, it was shocking.
Yeah, I mean that division. I mean, is something. It's a sight to see. Dallas finally playing, and
it's not really a sight to see. It's a sight to just.
It's also the COVID division. They've had so many schedules.
Yeah.
Okay, Zach, you were right. You were right, Noel. 2 years, $10 million.
2 for 2. Okay.
That's a really good. That's a good. That made him very a first line center for $5 million for the next 2 years. That's very attractive.
But now, I mean, is he their first line center? I mean, because they have
Shifley is.
But now you have two centers that are really, really good.
Yeah,
he was a winger, but
well, you need defense. But that's the problem I have with this trade from Winnipeg. You traded your best bargaining chip, and you did not get the first pairing defenseman you desperately need.
Right. That was the biggest mistake in the trade, I think. And you guys mentioned it via text. And I could not agree more. They need a stud defenseman.
And I like the return from Columbus because you got the goal scorer you need. And Roslovic, at worst, is probably a second or third line center.
I've always liked
a piece. Yeah. He signed quickly. Yeah, he signed quickly.
Sandpaper guy.
He's from that area too. So I do think this is a good trade for Columbus. And I like how what Torts said. Like Torts said, look, we need him to score goals, and we'll figure the rest out. And that was interesting to hear him say that.
And by the way, Columbus is in first place with they're 2-2 with 3 overtime.
Oh, I know.
But what I'm interested to see is how quickly Laine and Torts part ways philosophically
at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Or does Torts install in Laine a little more understanding of what being a two-way player is and makes him even better? So wherever he ends up, probably not the case. But
if you look at his advanced stats last year, his defensive play was significantly improved. Yeah. I think he got a bad rap there. Now we see that he wasn't. He was being, scapegoated in the locker room from other players.
I do think that Pierre-Luc Dubois could have a resurgence.
Somewhat. Oh yeah, I think he's a 65-point player.
Yeah.
His
talent is just unmistakable. So it'd be interesting to see what happens.
You won't see him kind of dog it on that shift like they ISO'd him last week.
That was disgusting.
You won't see that anymore. That was disgusting. But you know what? Like most players, they get their wish. No matter how they play, how they whine and complain, it usually works out for the player. So
it was funny because as soon as that happened, he's been benched, and everybody's like, "Look at Torts, same old Torts." And then they showed the video, and all of us were like, "Oh,
Okay. Makes sense. Yeah.
And he was. It's almost like you had to go up and push him. That's how much he was gliding.
Right. Well, Torts has been there what now? Like 5 years?
5 years.
5 years. I mean, his shelf life in places is probably what, 5 years, 6 years,
5 weeks.
Yeah, I mean,
he usually last in Vancouver.
1 year.
1 year. That's right.
1 year.
That was it. That's right. I forgot about Vancouver.
That was a disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not as quite as short as Barry Melrose.
Oh, in Tampa, yeah, it was really bad.
Yeah.
I saw them play that year, and I looked at I turned to the person my friend. I looked at him, and I was like, and it was October. They come to play against the Rangers, and we went to the game. And I turned and looked at them, and I was like, he's going to be fired. Like Barry Melrose is going to be fired. He's going to make it the whole season, and he was fired like 2 weeks later.
Yeah, that's like a typical Islander move right there.
Oh yeah. That's vintage old school Islanders.
Yeah. But let's quickly, it's kind of surprised. We'll touch upon it real quick. Jim Rutherford resigned today, citing personal reasons. 71 years old, his contract ends this year. I'm sure he says he's not retiring, so kind of gave up on the team. I wonder what the personal reasons are. Hopefully it's not health related or anything like that, but I don't know.
This is the guy who once gave up 3 first-round draft picks for Glenn Wesley. So, as the fact that when he did that, I was a fan of that team that gave up the 3 first-round picks. I really am not the most objective person to be talking about Jim Rutherford.
Yeah, and like you said, until we find out what the reasons were, it's pretty much a non-issue.
Right. Yeah. Right. Maybe health reasons. Who knows? He's not the youngest person in the world. He's been there for a long time.
Yeah.
It's an attractive job still.
It is, yeah.
You still have Crosby and Malkin, although Malkin probably won't be there much longer. But I think it's an attractive market. So I think they'll end up hiring someone, put someone in there who can, I don't want to say completely rebuild, but kind of retool on the fly. But they need to draft. It happens a lot with teams that make runs. It happened to the Blackhawks. It happened to the Kings. You trade your first round picks because you're making runs every year, and then it eventually catches up with you. So they need to just draft.
Right. But that being said, I mean, when you win, you kind of forget about not having first round picks, and it's not bad as long as you win.
Right, but then eventually, like, wow, we have 1 pick in the first 4 rounds today, and we lost in the first round of the playoffs again.
Right. You could also be like the Houston Texans, who obviously had a terrible year and don't have the first 2 picks.
And the Penguins don't have their first round pick this year, and it's not protected. Minnesota has it. It was in the Zucker deal.
Jason Zucker trade, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I do give Rutherford credit, though. I mean, he does go for it a lot, and it's worked out in Pittsburgh.
He also just makes trades sometimes for them. I'm going to make 20 trades, and 6 of them should work.
Depends on what you give up in those trades, So.
Right, yeah, some of them more. But, like, the Penguins have done a great job of drafting on day 2. They have found some great players in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th rounds that you never heard of who somehow start scoring 20 goals a year, like Connor Sheary, or become stars like Jake Gensel.
Yeah. Right. Who was in the 3rd round. So, yeah.
Will not be featured in trivia.
Okay. Damn it.
It was a 3rd round pick, yeah.
I tried there. Okay.
I figured that would be too hard.
Yeah. All right. So
I dumbed it down. I don't want to say dumb it down. Trivia tonight is more like the 1 and 2 point questions. I really tried to make them like Sprite Zero. So, something that you can get.
Well, I've never heard of Sprite Zero, so that's not boding well for me.
Yeah.
I'll send you a case.
No, I'm good.
I thought you liked
it. No, we get catering at work, and they have all these cans of soda left over afterwards. I was like, I'll take them home.
Do they have any NyQuil?
No, that stuff's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
They get the good NyQuil, like the green one that's like 10% alcohol.
Yeah, the only thing about NyQuil, it gives you the craziest dreams. Like, never mind.
Save it for the after show.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. So yesterday we had the Hall of Fame announcement for baseball, and nobody got in. But one player, of course, made us think about it, and that's our favorite racist, Curt Schilling, who got 71.1% of the vote. You need 75% for induction. Fuck him. I'm sorry.
Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him.
And then he said he wants to be removed from the ballot, and he just wants the what is it? The
veteran. He let the Veterans Committee handle it. Yeah.
Right. But you know what's so ignorant about him? he thinks that the Veterans Committee is made up of 9 former players, which it's not. It's like 4 players, a couple writers, someone from the Hall of Fame. So it just shows you how out of touch this guy is. But I wonder if he's going to contest the results, the voting in Georgia, maybe, or Pennsylvania. Maybe he can get a couple more votes to eke it out. But you know what's just crazy about this? His every year, his percentage has gone up.
Right.
You can see the bottom of the screen. So it's not like he was a surefire Hall of Famer when it started. And I don't think he was a surefire. He's borderline.
I think he's a lot like Madison Baumgartner, dominant in the postseason, but not
great. His numbers are
good, but not like good. Not unbelievable in the regular season.
Right. He 71.1%. You're telling me that he probably, if he kept quiet, stayed at the headlines, he couldn't get the 3.9%.
He would be in already.
He would have been in
like 2 years ago. But he's a xenophobic. He's misogynist. He's a racist, and he openly supported sedition of the United States of America. And what are you going to do? Yeah. And he also frauded the state people in Rhode Island out of millions of dollars.
Right.
Yeah.
And a fake bloody sock. So.
Yeah.
Which is the worst thing. Yeah.
And what's even more egregious about that, it was Dole's. It wasn't Heinz. It was Dole's ketchup.
That's disgusting.
Or Hunt's.
Hunt's. Yeah. Hunt's.
Yeah. But okay, so he's a terrible human being. We all hate him. But that should that matter to the voters?
Oh God, this is such a polarizing discussion because you know what? I think that your character should matter. I thought about it today for a while, and I thought that your numbers are one thing, and if you're a great baseball player, that's good for you. But your character should count for something,
Right.
And I mean, the reason Clemens and Barry Bonds are not in the Hall of Fame is because of lack of character, because they cheated.
Yeah, but Bud Selig's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but
Bud Selig enabled the steroid era, and he's in the Hall of Fame.
Did he?
He turned a blind eye for 15 years.
But I mean, it was going to happen no matter who the commissioner was, I think.
But
for 50, go ahead.
Sorry, they needed the McGuire Sosa home run.
They did
because it was following the strike, and the tennis was down. Everyone hated the owners, hated the players.
They saved the guy.
It changed the game, and they brought it back. So they kind of, I want to say, he did turn a blind eye, but I think it was a necessary evil.
What's the thing? It's like, don't tell me you guys didn't enjoy that. Baseball was so much better when everybody was tranked up on horse steroids. Yeah.
Absolutely, and back in the day, I remember it wasn't Twitter because there wasn't Twitter back then, but I read somewhere, you know what? Just make steroids obligatory. Everyone has to be on steroids, or you can't play. I mean, hitting a round ball with a round bat from a guy like Randy Johnson, who's sliders going 96 miles an hour and breaking 3 feet is impossible. It doesn't matter how many muscles you have. I believe that Barry Bonds and all those guys would have hit probably not as many home runs because a lot of those would have been just long doubles or whatever, but they still would have been Hall of Fame players. They were that good.
Right. Although, the thing too is like another thing you look at it too. Okay, so they were on steroids. They still had to hit the ball. They still didn't know what pitch was coming. That's why I always thought the Astro thing was so much worse. Just a couple of comments here. Yeah. Alicia, I don't too much Sprite. Alicia says she doesn't trust anyone who hates Heinz, and she also said she met Barry Bonds at a wedding once. Interesting. Carry on with the comments. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm going down.
Did I give you what I have?
Yeah. See, now you're drinking water. Good. Good. Way to come around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, Yanto said he likes Alias, or they like Alias. And Courtney says, rest in peace to the home run king, Hank Aaron. The funeral is a great tribute. Absolutely. Rest in peace to Hank Aaron.
Yeah, exactly. Such a class act and the true home run king. Absolutely. But those guys, I mean, Bonds, Clemens, well, I'll leave, what's his name out right now, Schilling. Those guys should be in because all their memorabilia is in already. Well, what's the point? It's a baseball museum.
That's true. It's a museum, so you can also make the argument then that Schilling should be in too.
And Pete Rose. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, Pete Rose for certain should be in.
Yeah, absolutely. How much stuff of his in there? It's ridiculous.
That's small potatoes. What he did after the Astro thing.
Right. But let's move to next year, which is kind of interesting because you'll still have Schilling on for one more year. You'll have Bonds Clemens. Then you'll bring in A-Rod and bring in David Ortiz. So it's very interesting because none of those guys probably will get in.
Ortiz will.
Here's the thing. I think
I never failed a test. The media loves him. He never failed a test. No, he never publicly failed a test. He was never suspended.
But not only that,
Bonds and Clemens weren't suspended.
I know, but he never failed a test. He was never on. He was on the report, but he never failed a test. We know he took steroids. I get it, but you put Bagwell and Piazza in, so you got to put Ortiz in too.
But there's also, and this has nothing to do with the voting. I understand that, but if you take Ortiz and A-Rod, everyone hates A-Rod, and everyone loves Big Papi.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with voting. I understand that, but
the writers, it has something to do with those writers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But you know what? A-Rod got suspended for it, so therefore he should not get in. Twice. Therefore, he should not get in. Clemens and Bonds, their numbers have been trending upwards. They should.
Zach just the Mets just traded Steven Matz for the Blue Jays. Gee, the Blue Jays are just stacking up.
It's a good trade for both teams because
you would think the prospects are.
Matz would be the odd man out when everybody's healthy.
Yeah.
And that's a good 4. He's a good 4-5 probably for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays are going for it. They see an opening in that division.
Yeah.
Yankees locked it up today. They signed Darren O'Day. So
I like that trade. I think that. Move. I think he's good. Yeah. No, he's good.
And they traded Adam Ottavino, which is so funny because he's a Brooklyn-born who couldn't handle New York. So it's kind of funny. So
now, does this mean that the Mets are going to go after Bauer, even though our owner lost $1 billion in the GameStop?
Yeah,
I'm sure he'll get it back.
That story is just ridiculous.
It's insane.
Did they go after Bauer? I don't know. Do the Blue Jays go after Bauer?
No, I don't know. If the Mets go after Bauer and they get him, that's a solid. That's almost like, a World Series top 4 pitcher rotation.
Yeah, I agree.
It really is. I mean, you got DeGrom, then you'd have Bauer, Syndergaard, depending on how his rehab goes. You got Stroman, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, if they can afford him, why not? Just
go for it.
Hey, the guy.
Yeah, and Alicia in chat said, if I hear about GameStop one more time.
No, I work on financial news. We had to try and explain it today, and I was like, okay, like Michael Scott would say, please explain this to me like I'm 5.
Yeah.
I heard about it for the first time today. I have not been following.
Now, all I want to know is, can I trade in my NHL 20 and get more money now?
Yeah, you can. It's $7 now
instead of the $2 I would get normally. I mean,
GameStop, they're closing all their retail stores all around.
No, they're in serious financial trouble. Yes.
Yeah, this is crazy. And also, like AMC is another company. Well, let's not get into that.
Let's get the trivia.
$1 billion. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trivia.
All right. Show. Can you show my screen? We got this worked out this week.
Dan finally figured out how to work his computer. Yay, Dan! All right, here we go.
Such a dick. Okay. So, as you see, 5 categories tonight. We have holy rollers. All the answers have religious connotations. Colorblind. All the answers are a question. Third time around, all the players are third-round draft picks. The other guy, these are players that were kind of throw-ins in trades or draft picks acquired and became superstars. And ballpark Franks, which are famous guys who played sports named Frank. So, Noel, where would you like to start?
Ballpark Franks, come on, really?
For how many points?
1.
All right, hold on a second. Let me get the score up here. Noel and MV. All right, so we're going.
Alicia says, "I love the ghetto Excel format."
Well, Alicia, you come up with something now.
Yeah, I'm being nice and not killing this format here.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now I gotta. Where am I? I lost my. Okay, there we go.
Now, do you have your work schedule on the other tab?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Okay, you ready, Noel?
Go for it.
Nicknamed the Big Hurt, he was the 1993 and 1994 AL MVP.
Frank Thomas.
Okay, 1 point for you.
Oh, I get it. Ballpark Franks. Okay.
Oh my God. Really? You just got it now?
Oh, I'm joking. Come on.
Congratulations.
Hold on a second.
I'm gonna go colorblind for 3.
Colorblind for 3. Remember, you guys can only do one of each category.
Yes, sir.
So colorblind for 3.
Whoa! I can only do one of each category?
So one of each point value. Only one of each point value.
Okay.
Yes.
What you should have done is put like our names in the box so we know which ones not to pick.
Holy
I blocked it out. I'm not keeping track. Don't worry. You want colorblind for 3. Are you ready?
No, hold on. I just have to figure out what category I want to go 5 on.
Okay.
Holy rollers, I have no idea what that means. I'll go colorblind for 5.
Okay. Oh, you should have stayed with 3. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Hang 10 with this school from New Orleans.
What?
Hang 10 with this school from New Orleans.
Hang 10?
Hang 10 with this school from New Orleans.
Hang 10. I literally have no idea what that means. Zach?
The answer, you understand, there's a school from New Orleans.
Right.
Whose name has a color in it.
Right.
Okay, so hang 10 with this school from New Orleans. That's why it's a 5-point question.
Do I have to name a color or their mascot or what?
You have to name their mascot, which has a color in it, which would answer the question.
Can you just name the school?
No, I need the full name. Colorblind. I need to hear the color.
The color. All right. I'll just black and gold.
No, it would be the Tulane Green Wave.
Oh my God! That's not how I understood it at all. First of all, my uncle went to Tulane. I would have totally known that.
Hang 10 with this New Orleans school.
Oh, with the wave? Okay, all right. That's all right. Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, no, I'm good. That's a good question. I had no idea what okay, I'm good.
Okay. All right. That was very good. All right.
Let me regain, because I know my uncle went to Tulane.
Now, do you know what the arena is called in Tulane?
I don't know.
What, the surf bowl?
The Fogelman Arena.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow, you need a shirt from there.
No relation. Okay.
Nola, do you know that answer?
I did.
Thank you, Carly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is the night.
All right.
Okay.
Go ahead, Noel.
Okay.
You can do 2 through 5.
Okay, just a heads up. Your last update was seconds ago.
What's
that?
Your last update was seconds ago on your Excel sheet. So there.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna do the other guy for 4.
Other guy for 4. All right. Acquired from the Red Wings, he was the first player from a non-original 6 team to win the Art Ross Trophy.
Oh God, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's why it's 4 points.
Yeah. Read again.
Acquired from the Red Wings.
Please.
He was the first player. He was the first player from a non-original 6 team to win the Art Ross Trophy.
I have no idea.
You want to guess? 5 seconds.
Dun, dun, dun,
no, I have nothing.
Marcel Dion.
Oh, wow.
Marcel Dion.
All right, I'll go ballpark Franks for 2. I'm just going to stick with the 2s.
Okay. No, oh, yeah, okay, wait a second here. You did...
Oh, boy.
Well, you did a 5 so far. You're going to do ballpark Franks for 2s?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ballpark Frank from 2. This Steelers running back won 4 titles and was MVP of Super Bowl 9.
Franco Harris.
That's right. You're on the board.
All right. I will do ballpark Franks for 5.
Okay. Ballpark Franks for 5. All right. Here we go. This footballing Frank was recently sacked as the head coach of Chelsea.
We got the word sacked in.
That's why I put this in here, because you were being all douchey the other day.
Man, karma. Okay.
Can I answer it?
Yeah, I know you know it.
Yeah. Ted Lasso? I don't know.
Ted Lasso.
I don't know.
Frank Lampard.
Oh yeah, of course. Tip my tongue.
All right, go ahead.
Can I do another ballpark, Frank?
Yeah, you can. It just has to be either a 3 or a 4.
I'll do 4.
Okay. This 9-time All-Star scored 533 goals with the Leafs, Red Wings, and Canadiens.
Leafs, Red Wings, Mahovlich?
Yes, it's Frank Mahovlich. That's right. Okay, so Noah, you are up.
I'm up. What do I have left? 2?
You have a 2 or a 3.
All right, I'll do colorblind for 3.
Colorblind for 3. Colorblind for 3. All right. Who is the only NFL team with no logo or number on their helmets?
Cleveland Browns.
That's correct.
Nice.
I mean, they didn't put a picture of their helmet on their helmet?
I know, right?
Yeah.
All right, you tie it up.
I'll go ballpark Franks for 3, please, Dan.
Well, we're gonna finish up. You guys like that category?
At least you know the first name of the player.
This Twins pitcher won the 1988 AL Cy Young with an impressive 24-7 record.
Absolutely no idea. I'm going to guess the name. Frank Orbison.
Frank Viola.
Oh, my God.
I know.
Yeah, Mike Will's kicking in.
All right, Noel, you got a 2 left.
All right. Let's do third time around for 2.
Third time around for 2.
I'm interested to see what this category is.
Yeah.
This late Padre great was an 8-time batting champ in his 19-year career.
Tony Gwynn.
That's right. And you have a 1 point available.
That's it. That's all I have left.
Yeah, I think we're going to keep going here because I think we're doing okay. We're going to go around one more time.
Let's go with Holy Rollers
for 1.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. The San Diego Padres boost this crazy clucker as their mascot.
Oh, it's the chicken.
That's right.
No, I wasn't sure if he had a name or.
All right. So first time around with all point categories, the score is Noel has 6, Michael has 5. You guys want to go around one more time?
Yeah, why not?
All right, let's go around one more time. All right, so Noel, you're up.
The other guy for 2.
Other guy for 2. The prize of the Herschel Walker trade, he finished his career as the all-time leading rusher in NFL history.
Emmitt Smith.
That's right. So let's go over here. That was the other guy. Okay, you're up, Barthan.
I'll go the other guy for 3.
Other guy for 3. Other guy for 3. The prospect in the Eric Lindros trade, he led the Avalanche to 2 Stanley Cups and was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 2014.
I should know this.
Yep. Noel, do you know this?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no hints, right?
Remember, he was a part of the Eric Lindros trade, so he was drafted by the Flyers.
Right.
One of the greatest players of our generation.
I'm going to go with Peter Forsberg.
That is correct. Nice job. Score is tied at 8. Go ahead, Noel.
Wow. Okay. Let's do third time around for 4.
Third time around for 4.
Ooh.
All right. This third round pick from the U reached 16,000 yards rushing in 2020.
New York Jet running back Frank Gore.
That is correct.
Nice.
That was the 4-point question. All right, Michael, what do you got?
Holy rollers for 3, please.
Holy rollers for 3. Okay. What is the brotherly nickname of Providence College?
Providence? What does brotherly mean?
When you answer the question, you would know.
Oh. Providence.
Much like a green wave.
It's not the Friars.
It is the Friars. There you go.
Thank you.
All right.
That was for 3. So you've done a 2 and a 3. You've done a 3 and a 4 so far. Okay. You have 1, 3, and 5 available. No.
1, 3, and 5. All right.
Save the 5s for. Let's save the 5s for the end.
Sure. Okay. Colorblind for 1.
Colorblind for 1. The Golden Brett scored 86 goals for this team in the 1991 season.
Red Hall.
For what team?
Oh, I give a call. St. Louis Blues.
There you go.
I'll go colorblind for 2.
Colorblind for 2. All right. This color machine dominated pitching staffs in the 1970s.
Well, in the 70s, was it Baltimore? I don't know. Oh, the Red Wings. Cincinnati.
Yes, the Reds. Yes,
the Reds. Machine was really easy. I was thinking of all kinds of other things.
The NyQuil.
All right. Score is Noel has 13. Vartan has 14.
Okay. So we have a 3 left and a 5?
You have a 3 and a 5.
All right. Third time around for 3.
Third time around for 3. This Nordique draft pick won a Little League World Series before hoisting the cup with the Avalanche.
Ooh.
If you don't know this, Noel, I'm so disappointed.
Trumbull, Connecticut's own Chris Drury.
That's right.
Even I knew that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make them, 3-point questions should be doable.
These are good.
I put a lot of time. What's that?
These are great. I like them.
Okay, you got a 1 and a 5 left, so let's go with the 1.
Yeah, okay. You have some confidence in me. Let's go with the other guy for 1.
All right. Acquired from the Cubs, he stole Cardinal fans' hearts, leading the league in thefts 8 times.
Acquired from the Cubs?
Mm-hmm. He stole Cardinal fans' hearts, and while he led the league in stolen bases 8 times.
Jared Stoll.
Cubs. Baseball player.
Yeah, no,
Cardinals. Okay.
I don't know.
No, you know this, right?
Lou Brock?
Yeah, Lou Brock.
Yeah, I would have had no clue.
Okay.
That's even before my time, and I'm old as shit.
Okay, so you each have 5-point questions left. Noel has 16. Michael has 14. What would you like, Noel?
Let's do the other guy for 5, I guess.
All right, the other guy for 5. Acquired from the Red Sox, this Astro went on to a Hall of Fame career and was a 1994 NL MVP.
Jeff Bagwell.
That is correct.
That should be like a 3 or a 4.
I agree.
You don't get Lou Brock, but you get...
I know, but the way the question was posed was a little...
Yeah.
I didn't know Lou Brock was a base stealing sensation. Anyway, moving on. I'm not going to question
Whose record did Ricky Henderson break?
Ricky Henderson's.
No, he broke Lou Brock's.
No, I know.
Okay.
So I have a 5 left?
You have a 5 left.
All right, Holy Rollers.
Holy Rollers for 5.
This is going to be great.
All right. This chief cleric led the NFL in touchdowns in 2002 and 2003.
Oh, God, I had him on my fantasy team.
Of course you did. He was a beast back then.
I cannot remember his name. I cannot believe it.
Holy rollers. The answer is in the question. This Chiefs cleric led the league in touchdowns in 2002 and 2003.
Yep. Nope. Not happening.
No?
Priest Holmes?
That's right.
Yes. Cleric.
Yeah.
Priest. Yes.
Yeah.
So the final was Noel with 21 and Michael with 14.
Yeah. So
I'm actually offended by that category because there was no mention of any Jewish athletes.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. You could have had Sean Green in there, between colorblind and holy rollers. Boom.
I could have had Sean Green in there, yeah.
Next week, you can do a Formula One question with Jewish Hamilton.
There you go. I put a lot. This took. You can. I'll stop sharing now. This took a lot of time, so I'm glad we did 2 rounds.
Yeah. All right, just
those questions were awesome, by the way.
Yeah, make sure you save before you exit out. Okay.
What's that?
Make sure you save it before you exit out.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
This cleric, I should have. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope that was fun for you guys.
That was super fun.
That was fun. Hopefully, it was fun for the viewers.
Yeah. Hopefully the viewers enjoyed it as much as at least as I did.
No one said a word in the last 20 minutes, so they're all.
That's true.
Yeah.
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 Do you want the 5? Wait, which one? Do you want the third time around? No, wait a second. Which one did we not do? We did all the 5-point questions, didn't we?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh no, we didn't do the third time around 5-point question. I'll just throw it out there. Nicknamed the Little Ball of Hate, he scored 522 goals with 5 NHL clubs.
A Little Ball of Hate? I thought that was Marshawn's name.
No, he stole it from this player. Do you know it, Noel?
Yeah.
What is it?
Fleury?
No.
Nope.
He played for the Devils, the Whalers, the Rangers, the Stars, and the Red Wings.
Dino Ciccarelli?
No. Pat Verbeek.
Oh, Pat Verbeek, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Should have known that. Cool. Okay.
Good. Well, there you go.
Well, that was fun. I got my ass handed to me in trivia. Awesome.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah.
Good job, Noel.
Thanks. You too. That was fun. Good job, man.
It must help to have Zach just off screen whispering the answers to you.
He's banging a garbage can over there, letting me know.
Yeah, he's banging on a garbage can.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Actually, we'll get Zach on the show next week. We'll do something.
Yeah, we have to get Zach on the show.
Yeah. He's
Yeah. I like. We have to. He should be. I like him as fact checking though. It's good.
Yeah, he keeps on our toes. He's breaking news. The match trade. The Texans get a new head coach. He's our new breaking news desk.
I can't believe you get the Frank Lampard question. I put that in there specifically for Vartan.
That's funny. I get that one.
And I specifically said Sack too, because you were being all bougie about it.
Yeah, because at our pre-show meeting, I kept making fun of the word sack.
You did.
That's right.
Yeah, he got sacked. Okay, whatever. All right, so everyone, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 100 subscribers, so we're inching closer. And Dan will.
Yeah, we're gonna give some stuff away. Yeah.
Yeah, Dan will autograph a couple Coke or Sprite Zero cans, right?
I'll do that right now. Hold on a second. I'll do that right now. I got a Sharpie right here just for these occasions.
Thank you. Okay. All right, Michael, feel better?
Thank you. I shall indeed.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Put that on eBay stat.
Yeah, exactly.
Gain used.
Yeah. All right, and we'll leave everybody with our fantastic close, which is also the open. So
have a great week. Stay safe, and we'll see you next week.
Oh, this is so bad.